When it comes to giving excellent value for money, the first brand that comes to your mind is Xiaomi. Honor was known to do the same, but quite recently there has been a gap in their portfolio that needed filling. The Honor 7X is just the phone to do that, and we take the phone through its paces in this review. This is Sandeep from RevAtlas. Let's get this started. The Honor 7X is fooling no one. It's pretty much an Honor 9i, sans a few additions and at a much more attractive price point. That itself should be enough for the review and to tell everyone that this phone is good. However, we still need to talk about the phone in detail. The 7X packs in a 5.9-inch Full HD Plus IPS full view display with 18:9 aspect ratio. The same as the one found on the 9i, and you still get great contrast, vibrant colors and a pretty good sunlight legibility. While it isn't entirely bezel-less, it's still one of the most compact mid-range of phablets on the market at the moment. There's Corning Gorilla Glass as well, but an unspecified version, which still does a good job at keeping scratches at bay. It's got an aluminum unibody, and despite many smartphones these days desperately trying to hide the antenna lines, the 7X flaunts it. In fact, it chooses to integrate the camera setup in the same line to create an aesthetic style element. The phone has a footprint that's more or less the same, if not smaller than most 5.5-inch smartphones with conventional 16:9 aspect ratios and larger bezels. The new aspect ratio means that the phone is narrower, and along with the curved back, the entire phone feels great to hold and easy to grip. It's powered by a Kirin 659 chipset, which is pretty powerful and handles multitasking breezily and performs exceedingly well when it comes to daily use. However, the GPU is a bit on the weaker side, and the phone does lag or stutter when you play graphic intensive games. EMUI 5.1 is still present atop the Android Nougat UI, and it should be getting the update to Android Oreo as well. There's 4 GB of RAM on both the variants, but either 32 GB or 64 GB of space to choose from. The 32 GB variant seems like a bargain considering the Rs 12,999 price point, but the 64 GB device seems a bit costly at Rs 15,999. However, considering that you have a hybrid dual SIM slot, those who are looking to use dual SIMs all the time as well as needing more storage might have to go for the 64 GB one. Oh, and it's also important to mention that there's no gyroscope on the 7X either. The fingerprint scan on the back is quite responsive and accurate. It also does a good job at recognizing slightly wet or sweaty fingers. The call quality is pretty good too, and there's sufficient loudness over both the earpiece as well as the speaker. Audio quality is pretty good too, but it isn't as good as the Mi A1, which is one of the best in this price range. The speaker is decently loud but lacks clarity, and the experience is strictly mono. The rear camera setup is a 16-megapixel unit with a secondary 2-megapixel depth sensor on board. Images taken with the rear camera have a lot of detail and pack punchy colors as well. I expected the portrait mode to be gimmicky, however it does much better than any other smartphone in its price range, and when it comes to the blurring algorithm, it's on point. Keep in mind that the focal length remains the same since there is no telephoto lens, but the blurring is really good. It performs pretty well in low light and artificial lighting conditions as well. The front-facing camera is an 8-megapixel unit which again displays similar characteristics as the rear one. High on detail, punchy colors and good dynamic range. We'll be talking more about the cameras in detail during our dedicated camera review of the device. There's a 3340 mAh battery on board that can be charged using the micro USB port. Honestly, we would have liked to see a USB Type-C port on here, but it really isn't a deal breaker for most. We got around 5 to 5.5 hours of screen on time on most days. Unfortunately, there is no fast charging and the power support is 5 volts at 2 ampere. To be honest, back in September, I thought that Mi A1 would be a smartphone that I'd keep recommending for almost an entire year. I expected the A2 to be better than it, but not many other phones to tread on its success run. However, the 7X actually manages to outdo the A1 on several aspects such as the display, camera, battery life and build quality. I would personally go for the 7X since I don't mind going for EMUI. If you don't mind it either, and I'm pretty sure you don't, or else you wouldn't be watching this in the first place, then you perhaps would be happier with the 7X unless you need stock Android and a better quality audio, which the A1 excels at. You can purchase the Honor 7X from the link in the description below. That's it for this video guys. Thanks for watching and see you again in the next one.